In less than 10 years, colon and rectal cancers may be the top cancer killer among 20 to 49-year-olds. This is crap. Fight colorectal cancer believes advocacy will lead to research, and research will lead to a cure. They need your support. Join their community of relentless survivors and champions by signing up for Climb for a Cure. Your steps will be counted toward their collective goal of taking 1 million steps and raising $1 million for the cause. Find a climb near you by visiting fightcrc.org/climb. That's fightcrc.org/climb.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. By Odyssey. Brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.
All right, as we get ready to start hour number 3 here, the Zaslow Show, we know that Xavier Howard, he is not practicing today. Second day in a row he's not practicing. He is on the field, apparently, but he's not practicing. We're going to get an update. We're going to check in with the Sun Sentinel's Dave Hyde coming up in a moment here. If you miss any of the show today, you can go to the Odyssey app, use the rewind feature, and go back and listen to any part of our show that you may have missed. Hey, if you miss any of Tobin and Leroy, 6 to 10 a.m. as well, you can go check those guys out every day here on the ticket. And I just saw last segment, saw Degenerate Robbie, saw him leaving, said goodbye. There he goes, into the elevator. Last day with the station. So we hope Robbie enjoys what's next. They're going to miss him. He was a good dude. Dan, what do we got going on there? We having trouble getting a hold of Dave, yeah?
Just a little, this number is no longer connected.
Oh, then I must have done something wrong, man. Oh, all right. Well, here, come, here, let me forward you this. All right, give me an overrated or not overrated right quick while I do this, because normally we do that at this time of the show anyway. Go ahead.
The Lakers' big three back. We're talking LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and now Russell Westbrook. Are they contenders? Are they pretenders? Are the current lineup of the LA Lakers overrated, not overrated?
Not overrated. I think it's going to work. Well, when I say I think it's going to work, I mean the Lakers are going to be good. The Lakers are going to be really good as long as LeBron James and Anthony Davis play. And adding Russell Westbrook in place of 3 very replaceable players, Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, you turn that into Russell Westbrook, I'm sorry. That's going to be great for them. So I would say, if anything, Russell Westbrook underrated. I'll do it like that. I'll kind of change the question into the way I want it to sound. So I'm going to go underrated. I like Russell Westbrook. I think he's a whole lot of fun, obviously, and yeah, so I'm going underrated on that. That Lakers big three, that's going to be kind of fun. And if I'm a Lakers fan, I'm super excited about it. You know that they soured on Kuzma a couple of years ago. So you only have to give up Kuzma, Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell. Yeah. By the way, let me give you a different number here. I'm going to send you a different number here for Dave. Dan, hold on a second. We're trying to get Dave Hyde on the phone here. We'll get an update from Dolphins camp, but I think I may have sent Dan Day the wrong number. So here, try that number that I just sent you. Okay, Dan, because I'm making Dan work and do things on the other side there, and I think I'm setting him up to fail. So, Dan, I gave you a different number. I just texted you a new number. He's trying it. He's giving me the look. He's not happy with me. Like I said, coming up, we got big movie or not a big movie. You know we do that every Friday where you got to get you in tune with what's going on. Also, if you're just tuning in now, as far as the show is concerned, I'm going to a show tonight, going to see Dave Matthews Band. Last time we saw them, they were terrible. What's a show that you saw? It's a group, it's a band, it's an artist that you really like, and you went to the show and it stunk. What's that band for you? And we've been talking about the NBA draft, which, man, not even just from a Heat perspective, I was bored out of my skull watching that draft last night. All right, let's go to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line here. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Sun Sentinel columnist Dave Hyde joins us here on the Zaslow Show. Dave, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us. You good?
Sure, I'm sweating off about 5 pounds here out of Dolphin camp. No fans, and we're having to tough it out.
But that
Us and the media.
facility is the new facility. It's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah, for everybody, strangely, but the media. The last facility we had these big fans, and it was like a little Palm Springs action or something. But here, they've decided they sunk their money everywhere, but where we could get cool off. So it's a tough life, Zaz. We're trying to get through it. Joe Shad of the Palm Beach Post brought his own little clip-on fan, which
Vet move.
Great smarts right there.
Vet move right there. Vet move. Dave, so hey, something crazy's happened. So let's go to the main thing's the main thing here. Xavier Howard, okay? From what I understand, I'm over here in the studio. You're over there. We're talking second day in a row that the Dolphins cornerback who wants out is not practicing. Am I correct?
Yeah, he's walking on the sidelines, a little on the practice field in a nice safari hat and his 25 jersey, but no practice. And you can chalk that up to a hamstring, ankle, whatever.
Right.
Something whatever you want it. But basically, yeah, this is his way to avoid a $50,000 a day fine, and at the same time get across a message that he wants either his contract redone or to be traded. And it'll play out that the Dolphins will do neither.
Okay, so let's do that here. You believe that the Dolphins, they're going to call his bluff ultimately?
Yeah, just as Green Bay did. Look around the league. Green Bay did to Aaron Rodgers. He's back. Russell Wilson started to go down that road and then kind of went mute after that for a while in the off season. So I mean, the bottom line is the question here ultimately is how big of a, for lack of a better word, nuisance distraction does Xavier Howard want to be? And we'll have to see how that plays out. Does he want to be Jalen Ramsey of Jacksonville last year? And maybe he does, in which case, somewhere down the road, maybe he does force a trade. But, that'd be an awful thing for the Dolphins to do. Trade away your best player of the year. You finally have to actually win games again. You're going to be judged on that.
Well, so is that right there exactly what you said when it's time to win games again? Because it's winning time now. Like, we're done with this rebuild, all right? Now it's time to see some results. So is that the main difference between them giving into Minkah Fitzpatrick's trade request a couple of years ago? Because back then it was still a full-on rebound, and now it's winning time?
I thought that was maybe, and going through my knowledge of Dolphin history, the dumbest trade in Dolphin history. You trade away a guy who now is a two-time All-Pro player in his first 4 years. He's on a rookie contract for a far lesser first-round pick. So I think that was just a mistake. But, yeah, you could chalk it up to the timeline of the rebuild, where we're starting the rebuild, and so we could use a first-round pick. What you could really use is a great player who's in his second year. But now it really makes no sense to trade Xavier. What are you going to get? Unless there's some other disgruntled star out there who you go mano a mano and trade that way, which, I'd have to see the last time something like that happened in the NFL. They don't need draft picks. They got a ton of draft picks and guys on the field, taken with those picks, young guys. So they need more Xavier Howards. They need more guys who were a second-round pick and performed at Defensive Player of the Year standards. And if they're gonna come out the other side of this rebuild.
We got Dave Hyde here with us, South Florida Sun Sentinel columnist. He's out there live at Dolphins camp today, where Xavier Howard is once again saying he's not right, he's not healthy, injury, he's not practicing today, second day in a row. What would actually happen? What precedent, what negative outcome would there be if the Dolphins did give in to Xavier Howard's or one of his requests to kind of restructure his contract? Like, why wouldn't the Dolphins just do that for their star player?
I just think on precedent, on the idea that, wait a second, we just renegotiated your contract in 2019, or excuse me, we made you the highest paid cornerback in 2019. And there were a lot of, he was coming off his rookie contract. They could have stretched it out 2 more years where he'd been under their control. They could have made him a franchise player. So there are a lot of, the context of that contract's a little different than but the bottom line is they gave him a lot of guaranteed money that they didn't have to. So that's their side of things. Xavier's side is, hey, I'm the best player on your team, and I'm the second highest paid cornerback on your team. And, bring it down to common person standards. Would you want to be the most productive salesman in your office and making second, being paid the second most? No, you wouldn't. So, I get from a human aspect what Xavier's saying.
That's what I do here, Dave. I hold up Joe Rose's
You're
contract.
bringing in the big money, I know.
I hold up Joe's contract. I say, this is what Joe's making. Listen, we need to renegotiate my deal, Dave.
And you aren't going mum for half an hour during your show. I think that's the next. That's right. If I was your agent, that's what I'd tell you to do.
That's right. I'm not sitting out with a sore throat. I'm not humming into the microphone. I'm doing the show.
Yeah, the difference is there's not too many Xavier Howards out there in the league, and there's none on this roster. And you look at how they won 10 games last year, and I think Xavier Howard would have been the number one reason. 10 interceptions, 20 passes defensed, put on an island, allowing the rest of the defense to do a lot of other things that Brian Flores likes. And so, he's not replaceable. Now, you could say he's not going to have a year like that again, and that could be so. Right. That might end up being his career. But the point is he's the best player.
Now, Chris Greer had no intention of trading 2 years ago, of trading Laramie Tunsil. Now, Tunsil didn't want out, but he had no intention of trading Laramie Tunsil, and then apparently it got to a place where he got an offer he couldn't refuse. So if Chris Greer has no intention of trading Xavier Howard, could you see a similar scenario where it's like, wow, I did not expect to be offered this, we got to do it?
I'd be stunned if they get big offers. Meaning, like, would they get two number ones and a number two, or for Tunsil, and he was due a big. Already, Xavier has a huge, a big contract. Okay, he is, he's had injury history. 3 of 7 years he hasn't finished the season, and so it'd have to be a team that desperately needs a cornerback who's ready to win immediately. And if you can put that together, most of the teams are so well run, they're not going to be dumb enough to do what Houston did and turn over a bushel of draft picks for him. So, again, is there some star out there who is in a similar situation of Xavier Howard? Chandler Jones says he wants out of Arizona. Now, is that apples to apples? I don't think so. But it'd have to be something like that before he could even look. I don't think they're not going to trade him. They're not going to renegotiate with him. And so I think ultimately his play is he has to come back and play, because that's what athletes play. Football players play. Basketball players play ultimately. And I think that's where we'll come to. Xavier, though, he wants to make his statement, and he's making it.
Let's finally hear for Dave Hyde, South Florida Sun Sentinel. He's live there at Dolphins camp today. Let's talk about something potentially positive. Tell me something good you've seen from Tua today.
Was Tua threw a nice deep pass to Robert Foster, who also caught a deep pass from Jacoby Brissett. So if we're looking, if you're looking stock up, stock down, star of the day at training camp, it would have to be Robert Foster.
Okay.
And this is usually Robert Foster. He's a fourth-year guy. Played with the Bills a couple years. Out of Alabama. Played with Washington last year, and fringe role. So here's a guy you got a lot of receivers hurt right now or out of practice, and you look who takes advantage of getting more reps, and there's a name, Robert Foster. Can he make the team? That's what's going to play out.
Great job, Dave. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us for a few minutes. I know you're busy out there and hot, and I appreciate it.
No problem. I think I sweated another pound, but I'm going to go sit by Joe Shad's fan and cool down again.
That's a vet move. You pick up a few tips from him there, Dave.
I know. I should have the vet moves by now, but I don't. So thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks, Dave. See ya. That's Dave Hyde right there, South Florida Sun Sentinel. So how about that? Robert Foster, he thinks, is having a great day as far as the wide receivers go. I told you, I don't think Preston Williams is going to make the team. I said that a couple days ago without even thinking about Robert Foster. I mean, who's thinking about Robert Foster? I don't think, Preston Williams, already PUP. I don't think he's going to make the team. Because, I mean, think about it. You got Devontae Parker. Obviously, you got Jalen Waddle. You're talking about, maybe Albert Wilson. I think you got to keep Albert Wilson. And then you're talking about guys like, maybe Allen Hurns, a veteran wide receiver there. Do you keep Jakeem Grant? I don't think so, but maybe they will. And then you're talking about this guy, Robert Foster, is having a nice little camp. And you already heard Jalen Waddle talk earlier. Mac Hollins, remember, he did a decent job last year. I think he's a long shot to make the team. And then you got Preston Williams, who is never healthy. It's like he was a flash in the pan a couple of preseasons ago. We were super excited about him. He's never on the field. I don't think he's going to make the team. All right. If you want to get in on the show, text in 786-360-0790. Already told you, draft last night, terribly boring. Nothing interesting happened. I was super disappointed. Also, I'm going to a concert tonight, a concert we normally love, but last time we saw Dave Matthews Band, we did not love it. We did not have a good time. What's that band? What's that artist? What's that show of a group that you really love? And you went to like, wow, this stunk. 786-360-0790, more Zaslow Show. Next.
In less than 10 years, colon and rectal cancers may be the top cancer killer among 20 to 49-year-olds. This is crap. Fight Colorectal Cancer believes advocacy will lead to research, and research will lead to a cure. They need your support. Join their community of relentless survivors and champions by signing up for Climb for a Cure. Your steps will be counted toward their collective goal of taking 1 million steps and raising $1 million for the cause. Find a climb near you by visiting fightcrc.org/climb. That's fightcrc.org/climb.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. Buy Odyssey. Brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're going to 50.
Pop stars with auto-tune. And dentists with asking questions.
So, how did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.
Show on AM 790 and FM 104.3 HD2 The Ticket.
You can text in the show 786-360-0790. You can also tweet to me. I'm at Zaslow Show. Got a text from Drew. Will Fuller. I totally left Will Fuller out. Okay, so thanks again to Dave Hyde, South Florida Sun Sentinel, for joining us there. I don't think Preston Williams is going to make the Dolphins. Like, Preston Williams has been this ghost, I feel like, for a couple of years now, where he looked so good that one training camp and preseason. Looked great in the preseason. And he can't stay on the field. Like, we're never going to see that talent end up coming to fruition. Because let's say the team keeps 6 wide receivers, 5, 6. Let's say they keep 6 wide receivers. They'll probably keep 6. I got 5 guys who are definitely making the team. Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, who I forgot, okay, Jalen Waddle. I think Albert Wilson's going to make the team. And especially if he's been showing a nice little connection with Tua underneath that speed. He's exactly the type of receiver you want for Tua. Okay, remember, he wasn't with the team last year. I know Albert Wilson's got some injury history, but he was off all of last year. That may go a long way toward helping his body this year. I got 5 wide receivers who are definitely making the team. Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, Albert Wilson, and Lynn Bowden Jr. He's going to make the team. They like him. He does like a little bit of everything. So the 6th wide receiver You're talking about Alan Hearns or Mac Hollins or Jakeem Grant or Dave Hyde saying Robert Foster showing out today at training camp practice. And then you also have Preston Williams. Preston Williams ain't making the team. So there you go. Little wide receiver update for you there. Dolphins camp. Also, talk about what concerts you've been to that you like the band, you like the artist, and the show sucked. Give me a couple more, Dan Day. What else you got there? Come in on the text line, 786-360-0790.
Yeah, we've gotten some really, really good ones. Someone said Eminem's Anger Management Tour was the worst performance ever. I can see that.
Like that Eminem was bad?
That's what they said. I mean, I can see that, man. Rap just does not
I could see it, too, because, like rap shows, I know, get people all the time like, rap concerts are terrible.
They
really
are.
Bad.
And they are. I mean, I'm not trying to be like that. I worked in the hip-hop game for a while. They're terrible.
First ever concert I went to, I was 16 years old. So, I feel like it's kind of late to go to your first ever concert, but whatever. It was 1997. It's my first ever concert. Same venue as I'm going tonight in West Palm Beach. And it was Rage Against the Machine.
Oh.
It was amazing.
Never seen them.
Rage Against the Machine, and opening for them was Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh.
That was the first ever concert I went to. I know it's a very famous show. Not because anything in particular happened that show, but it's like, you think about it, in the history of concerts, over the last 25 years, that's a great show.
I'm saying, is that like losing your virginity to Pamela Anderson? I mean, does it get better after that?
That's a good first show, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, that's kind of like, I know, of course I was there, Rage Against the Machine, and Wu-Tang opening. That's a great show. Everyone wants to go to that show. So that was the first concert I ever went to. And I remember Wu-Tang, it was fine. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Yeah, 15 guys are all on the stage at the same time, They
don't finish a song. They sing half the lyrics, and they move to the next
song.
Right.
Right. So rap concerts can be rough. They can be rough.
Well, we are seeing a lot of love universally on the text line for Britney Spears. And yes, Britney Spears puts
That it stunk?
No, great. Absolutely wonderful show. And I can say this. I've seen her twice. Fantastic. And everyone agreed with me.
It'd be shocking for a Britney Spears show not to be good. It really would.
Let's go the indie route. Someone said the Revivalists, great opener,
I don't even know what that is.
Sucked as headliners at Red Rocks.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you never heard the Revivalists?
I don't think so.
Nice to know you when I was young. They're a New Orleans band, actually. They're national. Some bands are like that. They're awesome as openers, but they just don't have what it takes to be the headliner.
What is the best opener that you've ever seen? And what I mean by that is not that, oh my God, what a great performance. That was so good. But I mean, I saw so-and-so when they were opening for blank. You know what I'm saying? It was before they were big enough to headline their own tour. I saw them when they were an opener. Mm-hmm. Who's that band?
For me, The Killers. Yeah. I saw The Killers at a 200-person venue. They were no names.
Who were they opening for?
I don't even remember who they were opening for. But
someone else who's also a no-name.
Yeah, and I saw them, and I was like, wow, this band's really good. And then a year later, they had blown up and gotten big. So
yeah, right. Okay, so you saw The Killers when they were opening shows.
Opening small, 200-person venues, yeah.
That's pretty good. I remember I saw Kings of Leon several times as an opener because they opened on a tour for Pearl Jam. Wow. And that's where I first saw them, and I was like, wow, who are these guys? They're really good. And now I'm going to see them on Tuesday night. They headline their own tour.
Don't forget about Cold War Kids, the opener.
Who is the best band that you've ever seen as an opener? But you know what I love now, though? Tonight we're going to see Dave Matthews Band. There's no opener.
They don't need that anymore.
But for the first 15 years that they were touring, 10, 15 years, they always had an opener. But they're so big now, they don't need to pay an opening band to come with them.
See, but I need the opener to get my ears adjusted, to get me in the atmosphere. No. Because one time I went to a Motley Crue concert and they had no opener, and it was just weird. They come out and you're all cold, and it just I need
Let's
that.
Get to business.
I don't care how bad the opener is. I just need to get my ears get it. Okay.
No, and you know why I also like it no opener? Not only because let's get to it, but the show apparently starts tonight at 7:45. I know it says on the ticket 7:30. Oh, they're not going to go on at 7:30. You're right. They're going to go on 7:45. So it's not like you go to the show 7:30 and the band goes on usually around 9. That's normally a concert time, 9 or so, Apparently they go on tonight 7:45. Let's do it, man. Let's start this show 7:45. Get out of there by 10:15-ish. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I like. They know their crowd. It's not that 18 to 25-year-old crowd anymore. They're not going to be out all night. Let's get it over with, get home, get to bed, get up tomorrow, cut the lawn, sit by the pool.
I mean, this is what I'm here for. Like, what are we waiting around? Start the show. Let's go.
Get off my lawn.
Like Pearl Jam's like that, too. They don't do openers anymore either.
Come
8
on.
o'clock. 8, show's called for 8. They're out by 8:30. Let's start the show.
Aw,
yeah.
man, that to me, show some love to some other bands. Let them get out there. Maybe
they used to.
Some fans.
They used to.
Let me get adjusted to the sound, to the sights, to my surroundings.
It was very Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin used to do that. No openers. Zeppelin didn't do openers. Just when the show's supposed to start, 8 p.m., Zeppelin's out there. That's when the show starts.
Someone said Tool at the BB&T Center was terrible. Lead singer stood in the background, didn't look in the crowd. I can see that, but still.
That's a deal where that's someone who doesn't know what to expect at a Tool show. Yeah, Maynard James Keenan, the lead singer for Tool, he stands in the back and does not face the crowd.
His hair's over his face and everything.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw him, he's there in his underwear. Does the whole show in his underwear, and he's facing the back. And he's next to the drummer, facing the back the whole show.
Was that the tour where he shaved his head and he had half his body painted like white and blue, and he tucked his thing between his legs and everything?
I've seen them a couple times. It's the same act every time, and they're awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
They're
and
awesome.
That's the thing. They do play the hits. Everybody's like, Tool's the type of band that'll never play the hits. They don't want that. No. Tool will come out and play the hits.
They're awesome.
They're really, really great. And, man, it smells in that arena. Ooh, man, the second they start playing, crazy. Now, 2 quick stories I got for you, and I 100% agree with this one. Lauryn Hill.
Oh, yes. I could totally see her being terrible. You know what her shtick is before you say, if she's supposed to be on stage at 9, you're lucky if she's out there before midnight.
Yeah, exactly. And she'll bump everybody.
And it's like, listen, Lauryn Hill, you're not Madonna. Okay?
She thinks she is.
Yeah, that she's bad like that.
And mean. Don't look at me. I was like,
oh, really?
Who are you? Get the hell out of here. You're showing up 2 hours late, and then you're telling random people not to look at you backstage. This is not me making things up. This is she rubbed me the wrong way. And
Prince used to do stuff like that, too, where he wouldn't play like the little intimate show in the theater until all the lights are turned out. The lights have to be off. Complete darkness. So but I've heard all that about Lauryn Hill. I could imagine.
It's all true.
I could imagine her being terrible.
All true. Even her band doesn't like her. Someone said Stone Temple Pilots' late lead singer Scott Weiler was terrible.
See that. Yep.
Yeah, I saw him on his third to last show ever.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a drug addict is what you're doing there.
I thought he was hungover. I thought he was drunk. He was stumbling, mumbling.
Yeah.
He played like half songs. He went outside, threw up, and I was like, man, this dude needs to get it together. About a week later, he died. So I was like, man.
He definitely needed to get it together.
That's tough, man. That's tough. So I definitely see where that comes from. Someone said the Police on the reunion tour was bad. I thought they were great.
I'm not into the Police. I don't really
What?
Have an opinion. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion there.
Whoa. And then
whatever.
Oh, we've gotten a lot of this. And they're all saying, I apologize. I know this might not be popular, but apparently Pitbull is not very good live.
Oh, really? I don't know.
I've gotten a couple of texts, a couple of people saying it. It's not just one and they're all apologizing because I guess they know we're here in South Florida.
They feel like they're anti-Miami by saying
maybe
Pitbull not good live?
Out in the pork and beans listening right now. But yeah, dude, I'm hearing a lot of people showing up late.
Really? Like several people are saying Pitbull's no good.
Yeah. I also got someone saying the Dirty Heads not good. The Dirty Heads were here this past weekend. I couldn't go because I had to work, but I've seen Dirty Heads. Dirty Heads are good.
I remember, though, like speaking of Lauryn Hill and coming out late, and that's a Madonna move also. That happened when I saw Guns N' Roses, but not even like the good Guns N' Roses. Like, first of all, Guns N' Roses that tours now, Axl doesn't pull that crap anymore.
No, he's good now.
Yeah, he doesn't pull that crap anymore. But obviously back in the day they were like that. And when Axl was touring with the Bobo Guns N' Roses, when he had Buckethead and the dude from Marilyn Manson was the guitarist, and like the only part of Guns N' Roses was Axl, they played at American Airlines Arena, and I went to see the show. Show starts at 8, opening band, Buck Cherry. Remember them?
Oh,
Buck
Crazy,
Cherry was the opening band.
Crazy B, Too Drunk to F. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Buck Cherry was the opening band.
You want to hear a good story about Buck Cherry?
Yeah, hang on a second. They finished their set at like 8:45. So like, all right, you think maybe by 9:30 we can get Guns N' Roses. Axl can get out there. Didn't come out until 12:30. So you got the whole crowd who's sitting there on their hands for about 3.5 hours waiting for Axl. And it was a weeknight. That sucked. That sucked. But Axl doesn't pull that anymore. They don't do that anymore.
Oh, Reggae Man says he saw Bob Marley open for Lionel Richie and the Commodores, and people were leaving.
What's your Buck Cherry story?
Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm not telling sales out of school. This is all true. Josh Todd, their lead singer, saw him on VH1, addicts who have gotten over drug addiction, talking about how he's clean, does this, do an interview with him. clean. I work out every day. No. So they're playing this place in Louisiana.
Their big hit song was called Cocaine.
Yeah. Lit Up.
Right, Lit Up, but it's about cocaine.
Yeah. Oh, the cocaine. Yeah. So I'm walking up. I'm about to go introduce the band. They're like, well, get past the guy that's passed out with his arm, with a needle in his arm.
Oh,
and I was like,
gross.
one of the band members has a needle in their arm. I walk in, and who do you think was sitting there passed out with a needle in his arm? Josh Todd.
Gross.
And I was like, man, you just went on TV. You just told me you were sober, and you're in the back of a venue, drugged out. So, of course, they woke him up, and everything was terrible live. But, like...
That story's out there?
I mean, it's a true story.
Okay.
If Josh Todd's listening, I was there. You were there. I mean, technically you were there.
First-hand account.
Yeah, I mean, like, that really disappointed me. Now, hopefully he's gotten his life clean since then. I mean, he's still alive. But that was very, very disappointing to me.
Oh, man. All right. Anyway, you continue sending your texts to shows that you thought were going to be good. They ended up being terrible. 786-360-0790. You know what I did see yesterday? We're going to do a big movie, not a big movie, coming up in hour number 4. We do that every Friday. I saw a trailer for a movie called King Richard. Do you know what I'm talking about here? It is Will Smith, and he is playing Richard Williams, the father of Venus and Serena Williams. And, if even if you don't know anything about the Williams girls, you know that they were trained by their father, Richard Williams, and, like, he was super hard on them. Like, everybody knows that, even if you don't know the details. And the trailer for this movie, holy crap, does it look good. Will Smith plays the father, Richard Williams, and... I can't wait. You got to go check it out. If you're at work right now, you got the computer, you're at home, whatever. Go look up the movie trailer for Will Smith's newest movie. Will Smith movies are very hit or miss. Will Smith loves doing the biopics. Remember, he did Tell the Truth. He did Concussion. He did Muhammad Ali. He was very good as Muhammad Ali, although I thought his performance was better than the movie was. But Will Smith loves the biopics. And now he's doing Richard Williams on him raising Venus and Serena Williams. And this movie looks good. Check that out. We'll do big movie or not a big movie coming up next hour. Big deal, not a big...
In less than 10 years, colon and rectal cancers may be the top cancer killer among 20 to 49-year-olds. This is crap. Fight Colorectal Cancer believes advocacy will lead to research, and research will lead to a cure. They need your support. Join their community of relentless survivors and champions by signing up for Climb for a Cure. Your steps will be counted toward their collective goal of taking 1 million steps and raising $1 million for the cause. Find a Climb near you by visiting fightcrc.org/climb. That's fightcrc.org/climb.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're going to 50.
Pop stars with auto-tune. And dentists with asking questions.
So, how did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.
Deal. Zaslow Show, next.
Time, but rather a two-time championship broadcaster, Jonathan Zaslow. On the Zaslow Show. And now, a Zaslow exclusive. Big deal or not a big deal?
All right, Dan Day, let's do big deal or not a big deal. What do you got for me today?
Today's Big Deal, Not a Big Deal, brought to you by Dell Technologies. The U.S. women's national soccer team in the Olympics. Alex Morgan said, now that we're in the knockout round, this is when the real competition begins. This is when we're really going to play. Today they got up 2-1, 2-2, and then all of a sudden they were in a penalty kick situation. They eke out a 4-2 win on penalty kicks. Is that a big deal or not a big deal?
Yeah, of course it's a big deal. The U.S. women's team is always favored in all the soccer tournaments, the international tournaments. They're the best in the world, but they've been struggling. I mean, they were 1-1-1 in group play, and now they win in penalties in the first round of the knockout round. So this is a big deal because the expectations are obviously very high. I saw Megan Rapinoe. That's your girl. Yep. She's your favorite. I'm not a fan.
Yep.
But Megan Rapinoe was trending during the game. Apparently, she was playing terrible.
Yep.
I know she ended up getting the winning kick in the penalties where she iced it for them to go up 4-2, and they won in penalties. But apparently, she She was not playing well today.
Yep. Zaslow, I know you love what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing with their picks and all that stuff. Just keep the fans dangling there.
A million picks. Who the hell cares?
They've done it again. They get a first-rounder and Derek Favors from the Jazz. Now, all they had to do was trade off a future second-round pick. One of their about, I think, 15 second-round picks they have over the next 2 years. Is that a big deal or not a big deal?
It's not a big deal. I mean, they'll take any of your high-priced players, okay? Like they took Al Horford so they can get a first-round pick from Philadelphia last year. They're taking Derek Favors, who doesn't make a ton of money, but Utah is trying to get under the luxury tax, and Oklahoma City is absorbing them, his contract into salary cap space. We'll do that if you also give us a first-round pick. So they got another first-round pick, but, Utah is a really good team. That pick's going to be in the 20s, like high 20s. So all these draft picks that they get, they're all late in the draft. Just look yesterday. They had a handful of picks, and they traded another one of those picks there yesterday that they had. But look at the selections that they had. Like, they had the number 6 overall pick. They took this kid, Josh Giddey, from Australia. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what I'm talking about. So, I guess he's a good player. He's number 6 overall. They selected him. But then the other selections, they had number 16 overall, which they ended up actually trading the pick to Houston, okay? They took the kid from Turkey, but really Houston took the kid from Turkey. But look at these picks they have. They had number 16, they had number 18. Number 18, it took actually Trey Mann from Florida, but I think they might be trading that pick as well. No, actually, they're keeping that pick. That pick was from the Heat, okay? But just look at the other picks they had, 16 and 18. It's like, you're not getting anything with that. You got to get a high pick, okay?
Giannis wasn't number 15.
Yeah, but, Giannis isn't the example that you hold up for, hey, this is what you can get in the mid-teens. Like, that's an anomaly, man. And all these other picks they have are from teams that are going to be really good. So keep acquiring those picks, man. I'd rather just have good players.
My favorite Beatle, George Harrison. His camp going to be releasing the All Things Must Pass exclusive box set with tons of extra songs and extras all over the place 1 week from today on August 6th. Is that a big deal or not a big deal?
Not a big deal. George Harrison, that's not my jam. I know he's, that's your thing.
Okay.
I like the Beatles. I'm not this huge Beatles fan. Beatles are fine. They're good, obviously, So, not a big deal to me.
My thing would be the other route. You get these box sets with all these extras, and they're extras for a reason most of the time.
Right.
Oh, my
Yeah, it's
goodness.
like, hey, previously unreleased songs from Tupac. And it's like, listen, if Tupac wanted those songs out, they'd have been out when he was alive.
That's why I never get box sets. I don't watch director's cuts because you know what? It was cut for a reason.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't good enough.
Good point.
Why waste my time?
Here's a director's cut. It's an extra 30 minutes of footage, and it's like, well, there's a reason he took it out originally. This scene's way too long.
Yeah, it's just garbage.
It's meaningless.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been, like, an extra cut that's gone in there like, whoa. It's just, Los Angeles area pilots are warning against this guy on the jetpack. He's back flying around LAX. Is that a big deal or not a big deal?
That is a big deal. That's Iron Man they're talking about.
Guy's on a jetpack.
So we're talking about Iron Man.
We're talking about he's not in the Iron Man costume. And also, look, I'm flying into LAX Labor Day weekend, LSU, UCLA. What happens if this guy gets in my way? You could lose me. Zaslow.
That's a big deal.
You can't lose somebody else, man. You've already lost Joy
Well,
Taylor,
I lead the
Amber
league
Wilson,
in people leaving
Romberg. But this wouldn't be me leaving you.
Yeah.
It's me leaving Earth.
You'd be leaving me. Yeah,
what a way to go.
Leaving everyone.
Oh, that's not the way I want to go. Well, we'll talk about off the air the way I want to go,
Okay. All right.
Get this. A woman was called a cow after she told a dog walker that her dog was pooping everywhere and to take care of it. Is that a big deal or not a big deal?
It's not a big deal. I'm assuming the woman was called a heifer. That's a cow. That's a common name. You'll say if you want to insult a woman who may be a little bit on the heavier side. And, people get mad when your dog poops and you don't clean up after your dog. People get really mad about that. I've experienced that, of course.
Yeah.
I don't do the picking up after the dog. I don't like it. So I just have my dog. He does all his business in my backyard. I don't actually walk him. Like, I don't want to pick up after him.
Was I kind of a D-bag back in the day when I had a dog? Of course, I worked late, but I'd walk it at like 1, 2 in the morning when I got off of work, so I didn't have to pick up the food.
Here's the way that I always saw that, okay? Because my previous dog, I didn't have to close the fenced-in backyard, so I would have to walk him. And here's the way I see it. I don't want to pick up after him, okay? but that doesn't mean that I'm going to let my dog poop on someone's lawn.
Oh, so
you can't let the dog poop on someone's lawn. That lawn, that's a dirtbag move. It's not cool. Besides that, it's gross. You know, nobody wants other dogs' poop in their front lawn. God forbid the person who lives there steps in it. It's like, that is so not cool. So there would be areas
what about that
I would have
domain?
my dog poop where, yeah, like I know, hey, this is not anyone's house. This is just grass, okay? You don't own this grass. My dog's going to poop in it. It's fertilizer, right?
Right.
So that's what I would do. People would still give dirty looks, but at least I felt justified in not letting him poop on someone's lawn.
So what about that public domain between the sidewalk and the street sometimes that are in your yards?
Yeah.
I let him go. Let him go.
I know. It's not a good job out of you. That's still like in front of that person's house. It's not cool.
There was a reason why I was walking the dog at 1-2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I was not wanting to pick it up. I mean, that just to me, oh man, the warmth and everything. Oh no.
Oh, it's squishy.
I don't care what they say.
I don't like it.
I don't care what they say about the bag protects you.
No, I don't feel protected. feels like I'm grabbing duty.
It does feel like that. British motorists are puzzled by a highway sign that simply says, "I'm sorry, Tom. Please forgive me." Big deal or not a big deal?
That's a big deal because while it's probably not a big deal, it's a big deal to me because I want to know what happened with Tom.
Yeah, I want this.
Like, this is a mystery now. I want to crack this case. I want to know what's up with Tom.
I'm gonna guess the worst.
What is the worst?
She or he got into some big group sex thing without Tom.
Yeah, that is the worst, I guess.
I'm telling you. So you put that out there, you're only inviting people to think the worst.
Yeah, that's a big deal to me.
Or maybe they went to a Dave Matthews concert by themselves. I don't know. One or the other. You know.
All right.
Oh, a cinema worker has gone online to show why you should never order a medium popcorn. He emptied the medium into a small, same size.
Oh man.
Big deal, not a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal. You gotta know those tricks. Okay, and I like it when we find out stuff like that. Yeah, that's good to know. Okay, so you either go small or go large, they're saying.
Yep, and we're working on a movie theater sponsorship, so, you know.
Oh, is that right?
Oh,
okay.
yeah, absolutely, man, because, you know, we talk about movie. Actually, do we not have big movie, not a big movie coming
Big
up?
movie, not a big movie coming up around 1:15, yes.
Oh, man, we're going to work on that. But don't order the medium because the same size as the small. Either go small or large because a lot of times large you can refill, too.
Okay.
Have you ever caught yourself trying to wolf down as much as you can to get that refill of the large?
No.
I've done it.
I mean, it's a lot of popcorn if I eat the large. Like, I think I'm good by the time I get to the end of it.
Eats like a meal. All right, last but not least, an American man living in the UK recently found out that his online girlfriend of 8 months was actually his roommate.
Oh, come on.
Big deal or not a
you know what? I'm going to go not a big deal because stop being stupid. You know, stop creating relationships with women who you've never seen before. Come on.
Well, no, he's seen her before. It's his roommate.
Oh, it's a female roommate?
Yes.
And was she being serious or was she trying to catfish?
They were both being serious. They didn't know.
Oh, wow.
So they were spending too much time online that they didn't know that they were actually dating each other and they lived under the same roof.
Wow. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to go big deal. Maybe you found what you're looking for right there.
I mean, everything's right there in front of you.
Okay, I'm going to go big deal then.
Imagine being online so much for 8 months and so enthralled with someone that not realizing they're the person under your own roof.
Yeah. All right.
Probably hates his roommate, though.
Yeah.
Either way, that's how you do big deal, not a big deal.
Hour number 4 of the Zaslow Show. Next.
In less than 10 years, colon and rectal cancers may be the top cancer killer among 20 to 49-year-olds. This is crap. Fight Colorectal Cancer believes advocacy will lead to research and research will lead to a cure. They need your support. Join their community of relentless survivors and champions by signing up for Climb for a Cure. Your steps will be counted toward their collective goal of taking 1 million steps and raising $1 million for the cause. Find a climb near you by visiting fightcrc.org/climb. That's fightcrc.org/climb.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. Buy Odyssey. Brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're going to 50.
Pop stars with auto-tune. And dentists with asking questions.
How did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.